What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Star Wars Battlefront 2 news video. You most likely won't have seen one of these before. I did the layer update recently and I talked about Anakin, but the last time I really talked about a community transmission was the Last Jedi DLC, a couple months after Battlefront 2 had first come out, and we were getting Finn and Phasma, and I broke down everything that was coming, including the single player campaign. So I go as far as to say none of you would have seen that video, but thank you so much for joining along the way. And what we have is our update that comes in just a week or so, and we will be getting a new Capital Supremacy map. The game mode is great, but we need more maps for it and more planets, and we're getting another existing planet with the map slightly changed from its Galactic Assault version, and that is KAMINO this time. And I may not sound too excited about that, and don't get me wrong, KAMINO, well, it's probably one of the best, it's probably the best looking map in the game, with the weather effects and everything's just such a good atmosphere. However, I mean, it's the Phantom Menace, like the weekend commemorating the anniversary of the Phantom Menace, which is officially on Sunday, and that would have just been perfect. You've got Obi-Wan and Maul going for 200 credits. It would be just great, and it would tie in perfectly if Naboo was the map that they added Capital Supremacy in for. Just the timing would be so great, and I personally think Naboo is the best, like, it's my favourite Galactic Assault map. It might be biased from the beta, but it is genuinely the favourite map that I've encountered in all of Battlefront 2, and if it ever comes up in the rotation, which seems to be not as often as I'd like, then it's my favourite one. But the official transmission mentions, which is something that, again, I'm all down for this, which is there's going to be no speeders in this, no tanks, no walkers for the clones, which is exactly what I wanted, because this weekend there are no vehicles, and I assume that is to prepare us for when KAMINO drops. And just today I had the longest game of Capital Supremacy that I've ever experienced. It just wouldn't end. Ended with over 200 eliminations and 162 kills. And that I didn't realise until like halfway through, which was over half an hour in, that there were no speeders around, and there was nothing to stop me from purely gunning down people, and there were no other variables that would come in and interrupt the kill streak. And so that's great. I really like that idea. And obviously for the KAMINO map, you don't want to have speeders running around indoors trying to run over your clones. It also says here that nearly everything from the Galactic Assault map on KAMINO will be available for this, so I expect that that has to include the outside platforms, because that's made for them to be objective capture points, as they are in one of the stages of Galactic Assault. And they've also managed to change it up by adding some debris onto the map. It says here you'll see a Trident class assault ship sprawled across Command Post C, which I would guess is going to be one of the platforms outside. And it's saying that the war has been going on before you've turned up, which means they can add debris, they can add crashed ships, and they can use it to change the gameplay experience from KAMINO, from Galactic Assault. Because if you're going to be playing over the same areas, you don't want it to feel exactly the same. So adding a ship that has crashed and either creates some cover for you, or creates a new pathway that didn't exist before. It also mentions that this assault ship can be climbed by troopers. And when I first read this, I got very excited, thinking that a climbing mechanic was in the game, which would be great for just scaling some uneven surfaces. But I assume this is literally just walking up the side of a smooth surface, and it will get you to the high ground. I should have said that first time. They also say it will introduce a change of pace and tactics. That's to be seen. I mean, I'm not sure how it will change too much from normal Capital Supremacy, but we don't want it to change from that. We just want more planets, we want more content. It comes on the 22nd of May, and full details will come in its release notes. So that on its own would be like good enough news for one day. However, we've got another community transmission just after that, talking about a new change to the progression system. Well, it's not a change to the progression system, it's an expansion of the current progression system. This is absolutely insane news. They're increasing the level cap for all units. So once you reach the max level, which would be 70, the level icon will change to gold, and then you'll have the same XP requirement for each level. But the new max level has become 1000. Like, that's insane. I remember having to grind through every trooper class to try and to get to 70, and since then I would love it if they kept your progression that you've had once you hit 70, but I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be once the update happens you can start and move on to prestiging. But this means that the troopers go up to everything, troopers, heroes, starfighters, enforcers, your speeders, everything is now max level of 1000. The amount of XP you need to prestige has stayed the same, 15,000 for troopers, 25,000 for heavies, 22,000 for ships and starfighters, 21,000 for your bulky reinforcements, your enforcers, and then for your tanks, your speeders, is 14,000. And finally, the smallest bit of news is that they've added a voiceover wheel to accompany the emote wheel, and that simply means that it will play what your character would have said during the emote, but you won't have to actually carry the emote out, which actually happens if you start your emote and then just start running off. Your character will still say the line, but they've added it to a separate wheel this time. But that is all that we have for this video. That's all the news that's come out today. It's been a very nice day for news, and just can't wait to get hands on the new KAMINO map. Can't wait for after that when we get the new Naboo map, and then I can't wait for the month after that, because it means they'll have no excuse but to give us some actual new content, maybe some new heroes. But if they give us another Capital Supremacy map, they can't reuse any current Clone Wars ones. So I can't wait for that, and yeah, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.